Hey everyone, welcome to this Urgent Explainer. Today, we're diving into some crucial, literal, life-saving clinical insights from the Rehab Haven Rehabilitation Center. Honestly, this isn't just your standard medical overview, it's a survival guide. We're going to break down the critical warning signs that almost always pop up right before a major stroke so that you, or someone you love, can take immediate action. Okay, let's dive right in. I want to start us off with a really critical life or death question. Picture this. You or a family member suddenly gets a weak arm, maybe some slurred speech, but then 10 minutes later, it's completely gone. You feel totally normal again. What is the absolutely most dangerous mistake you could make in that exact moment? The answer? Waiting to see if it comes back. We've got to bust this myth right now. Never ever just assume you're fine. It's totally human nature, right? We brush off symptoms that disappear, blaming it on stress or just being tired. But with neurological signs, waiting around to see if a symptom returns is literally gambling with your life. And here's why. The clock is ticking. Studies actually show that 10 to 15% of people who have a transient ischemic attack, which we'll get to in a second, will go on to suffer a full-blown major stroke within just 48 to 72 hours of that first warning. I mean, that is a terrifyingly short window. But the good news? Getting checked out and treated urgently during that exact window can completely prevent the stroke. So here's our survival map for today. We'll be covering the critical warning shot, mastering the BFAST tool, spotting the subtle signs, blood pressure danger zones, and finally, the emergency action plan.
All right, part 1, the critical warning shot, the TIA.
Clinicians call this the warning shot. A transient ischemic attack, or TIA, is basically a mini stroke. You get those classic focal neurological symptoms like your face drooping or an arm going weak, but then they vanish, sometimes in just minutes. Because it goes away, it's the most commonly missed warning sign of an impending stroke. But listen to me, a TIA is always a medical emergency. It demands immediate hospital evaluation, no exceptions.
Moving on to section 2, master the BFAST tool.
Okay, so we actually need to upgrade a medical tool you might already know. You've probably heard of the FAST acronym, face, arm, speech, time. It's great, but honestly it misses strokes happening in the posterior circulation, meaning the back of the brain, like the brainstem and cerebellum. BFAST adds a couple of crucial letters to catch those missing pieces, making it way better at spotting all types of strokes.
Let's run through these quickly so you can lock them into your memory. And hey, to help you really internalize these life-saving signs, just let me know if you'd like me to create a set of flashcards on this BFAST acronym for you later. All right, starting with B for balance. We're looking for a sudden loss of coordination, maybe walking unsteadily or just unexplained falls. If someone suddenly can't walk straight, huge red flag.
Next up, E for eyes. We're talking any sudden vision changes here, double vision, or maybe just a complete loss of sight in one or both eyes. This isn't like, oh, my eyes are tired, I need new glasses. It's an abrupt, really alarming change in how you see.
F is for face. Watch out for sudden facial drooping on one side. The easiest on-the-spot test, just ask the person to smile. If that smile is uneven or half their face just isn't moving, you've got a positive sign.
Then we have A for arms. You want to check for sudden weakness or numbness. Ask them to hold both arms straight out in front of them. If one arm starts drifting downward or they can't even lift it at all, that is a classic, undeniable stroke symptom.
S stands for speech. This means sudden slurred speech, maybe struggling to find really basic words or even not understanding what you're saying to them. If their response is totally garbled or nonsensical, their brain's language centers are under attack.
And finally, T. Honestly, the most absolutely crucial part of this whole thing. Time. Time means calling emergency services right away if you see any of these signs. Do not wait. Committing this acronym to memory is literally step 1 in saving a life.
All right, section 3, spotting the subtle science. So we've got the obvious signs down with BFAST, but what about the sneaky signals people just brush off? Imagine someone saying it feels like a curtain coming down over one eye for a few seconds or minutes. That is a terrifying sensation called amaurosis fugax. People often dismiss this as just eye fatigue. It is not. It's actually a TIA equivalent involving the eye's artery, and it's a massive blazing red warning sign of a severe carotid artery issue.
You also gotta watch out for other subtle stuff, like a thunderclap headache, literally the most sudden, worst headache of your life. That's a classic hallmark of bleeding in the brain. Or hearing a pulsing sound in your neck, known as pulsatile tinnitus. Even recurrent brief numbness or sudden memory and balance issues, especially if you're under 60. Don't just chalk it up to getting older. These are literal distress signals from your brain. Next up, Section 4, Blood Pressure Danger Zones.
We really need to know when high blood pressure stops being just something to monitor and turns into a dangerous, immediate crisis. A reading over 180/110 is severe. If you feel fine, it's a hypertensive urgency and you need a doctor within hours. But, and this is a big but, if you take that severely high pressure, say over 180/120, and add a headache, confusion, chest pain, or any of those be fast signs we talked about, that escalates to a hypertensive emergency. You need an ambulance or to get to the hospital immediately.
Which brings us to Section 5, the Emergency Action Plan.
Just recognizing the signs isn't quite enough. We need a solid, concrete plan. If you or someone else has a TIA, this clinical protocol lays out exactly what needs to happen within 24 hours. We're talking urgent CT or MRI brain scans, an ECG to check the heart rhythm, an ultrasound of the neck arteries, immediate blood pressure management, and getting started on antiplatelet therapy, like aspirin. If you're at the hospital advocating for a loved one, this is the exact checklist you want to see completed. Also, if you want, I can generate a tailored report for you on this specific TIA management protocol to keep handy.
Now at home, you can actively manage your risk by checking your blood pressure the right way. And technique is literally everything here. Sit quietly for 5 whole minutes first. Put the cuff about 2 to 3 centimeters above the bend in your elbow. Remain completely silent while it's running, and always take 2 readings about a minute apart to get an average. That ensures you're getting reliable, clinical-grade data right in your living room.
This next point is incredibly crucial. Our source points out that, particularly in the Ghanaian context, though honestly this rings true in so many cultures worldwide, we have got to definitively shift our behavior. It's super common to just attribute sudden numbness or weakness to working too hard, or even spiritual causes, right? But you absolutely must prioritize going to the hospital over seeking traditional healing or prayer first. When brain tissue is dying, every single minute counts, and the hospital has to be step 1.
So I'll leave you with this pretty provocative thought to reflect on today. If you woke up right now with one side of your body weak and your speech slurred, are you truly prepared to save your own life? Do you have the emergency numbers saved? Do you even know the exact location of your nearest stroke-capable hospital? Don't wait for a literal crisis to figure this out. Memorize, be fast, get your plan together, and stay safe out there.